What is up, Internet Basketball Junkies? I'm here with Coach Adam McLeod. We're here to talk some Powerhouse Program Building today. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So, we're going to talk about Powerhouse Program Building, your experience with it, and then a new feature that I'm rolling out into the product, which is a template version that coaches could use to build their own portfolio modeled off of the one that I present in Powerhouse Program Building. So, we're looking at what you've built as your coaching portfolio moving forward with. And with Powerhouse Program Building, I've used you as a test dummy here a little bit to test this new feature that I'm considering adding to Powerhouse, which would be a template version that coaches can use to build their own portfolio modeled after the one that I present in Powerhouse Program Building. So, Coach, can you talk to me a little bit about the process you used in using that template version of the Powerhouse Program Building portfolio?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think for me, it was how do I want to build my own and really make sure that I'm still following, somewhat of a format and, making it so it can fit me when I present it and not fitting someone else. Um, it was it was honestly a really easy process. The way that the powerhouse is set up, it just it helped me kind of allow the way I want to go down and present if as if I was in an interview or having a time talking with a coach.
Yeah, so I'm looking at your coaching portfolio right now. I think you've laid this out really nicely. It's kind of visually stunning. It's very clean how you've done this. I think this is very impressive. So props to you on that. I'm looking at your table of contents and I recognize some of the sections that I've used in my
Mhm.
coaching portfolio, and I've also recognized some different things that you've added in to make this uniquely yours.
Yeah.
What was your process in deciding, what topics to keep and what topics you wanted to go your own way with?
Yeah, so it's actually funny enough, Matt. I really do agree a lot of, the principles and the things that what we bring to, the gym, not just with X's and O's, but the relationship building. Um, and there was some, X's and O's, of course, of, the philosophy, which I think is pretty generic for most coaches. I felt, for me, it was just really my own words of how I believed in it and how I saw it. I think that it could probably be a lot of similarities of, you, myself, and, any coaches that are watching this and just really formatting it to a way that you want to present it and think about the game of basketball.
I think when a coach is thinking about developing a coaching portfolio, the toughest part of it is like, where do I start? What do I want
Yes.
to include in here? So I feel like having that template is kind of like a roadmap or a model where you can think things through in a sequential order of how you'd want to present them. And you can keep the things that are important to you and put them in your own unique words, and you can get rid of the stuff that's not as applicable to the situation that you're in. So you
Yeah.
found that pretty handy as a way to, think through the information that you want to present to an interview committee, coach.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, very, very smooth process. I'm very thankful for that.
So from a technology standpoint, your template got delivered to you in a Google document, and that was editable for you to be able to do whatever you wanted with it. How did you get it looking, kind of so graphically stunning and so graphically clean? Because what I'm looking at now, I don't believe would be a Google Doc. So from a technology standpoint, what did you use to design your portfolio after you received it in a Google Doc?
Yeah, so I'm thankful that my full-time career, we actually have an account using Canva. That was the site that I used for the portfolio, and I felt, pretty comfortable using Canva. I think it gives a lot of great options.
Yeah, I would say Canva would be the way that I would do it. And I think what's impressive about Canva is you don't have to have a tremendous graphic design background to make something that looks very nice.
Yeah.
that kind of technology is advancing very rapidly, where there's a lot of plug and play templates and different fonts
Yep.
that you can use. So I think Canva would be the way that I would go if I was in a situation, but I think that there's other ways that this could be done that I think, other coaches will demonstrate as this templatized version rolls out.
Yeah.
Coach, last question here before I let you get going. Where do
Sure.
you see this going? This to me, what you've put together, I believe is a great start to a coaching portfolio. Are you planning to leave it here? Are you planning to continue to add to it? What's kind of your moving forward in terms of getting this exactly where you want it?
Yeah, so I know I've been talking about being a younger coach and really trying to get out there. I think for me, I now have the confidence to, try to really get into these interviews, whether, it's a long shot of a job or not. I'm feeling comfortable, now having this portfolio. I've actually presented it in an interview a couple weeks ago, and, they were very impressed. They really liked it. And I think just now that I have that material, that I can bring that with me. And as hopefully in my career, as I'm, going and getting different jobs, hopefully with, a nice long period, and they're always going forward. I can just add to that. And, since I have had that template and now I understand the format of it, it's going to be really simple to just, add what I've added to my, to my repertoire, where I've been, and maybe, things that I start to believe in. And it will be very much, easy to access, just right down the line.
Yeah, I firmly believe that the process of putting this coaching portfolio is very effective in terms of the presentation that you can make to an interview committee, but maybe even more so for yourself personally, where you get crystal clarity on the things that you believe in coaching. And I think the interview process, for anyone out there that's concerned about the interview process, the
Mhm.
the process of putting this portfolio together, gives you the answers to most of the questions that you're going to be asked because you've been thoughtful in how you've approached the planning of building the program that you're going to build once you get the opportunity to do so. So I think, you're making something that's spectacular and makes an impression when you put it in an interview committee's hands, but you're also getting so much clarity on your thoughts and feelings about building a basketball program that it's going to help you make the right moves when you get an opportunity and have clarity on what you believe in as a coach.
100%.
Yep, you recently accepted a coaching position. Tell me a little bit about that, and did this Powerhouse Program Building have anything to do with it, in your opinion?
Yeah, 100%. That's actually what I was just referring to. I am now going up to the college level. I was just previously at the JV and assisting varsity. I have taken a position as a recruiter and bench coach up at the local Division III university near me. And, bringing that with me, I just, I knew what I believe in, I knew what I talk about, but it's not as easy to just do by words. Sometimes you need to show your organization skills and what you believe on paper for someone to be able to take a look at.
Yeah, to me, it makes the impression that you want to make before you've ever said a word in the interview. If you present this to the committee, they know that you have a plan, they know that you're organized, they know that you have a vision, and you can use it as a reference manual, or they could even use it as a reference manual to learn more about you once you leave the room. Hey, Coach,
Exactly.
thanks so much for sharing your thoughts on Powerhouse and being a test pilot for this new program of the Powerhouse program template version. And I just can't thank you enough for sharing your thoughts with me here tonight.
Likewise, Coach. I really appreciate it. It's done wonders for me. Not just the portfolio, all the stuff that you share throughout your social media, for not just young coaches, for all the coaches, you're paying it forward, you're helping us out, and for all of us coaches, we appreciate it.